What up, everybody? This is Jack Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw. Yeah, and we're gonna take you back. Fantastic Four. Yeah, and this is the Airwalker. And what's going on with this cosmic being? What does he look like to you? Is he a butterfly? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it some weird angel coming down from the sky? Now, as Reed is doing what Reed does, of course, experimenting, a new kind of plastic, actually, that's just as hard as metal. Of course, Johnny is testing it out, seeing if it has a melting point. Thing is, of course, looking at some fine literature. And, of course, the alarm goes off every time he's reading, quote unquote. And basically, this is just a group of bad guys, terrorists, call them what you will. And they're breaking in to the Baxter Building. Now, keep in mind, the Baxter Building isn't owned by Reed Richards at this time. They have a landlord named Collins. They're barely starting out. They haven't got their advertising right. They haven't been making them the money that they, roll in later. And, of course, they dispatch these terrorists. They start going to work. Sue does her things. And I love Sue's power. She makes the guy's arms go invisible. He drops the gun in panic. And thing is, basically, it's clobbering time. Humiliating the guys. Of course, they create a small disturbance, distracting him. Johnny decides to give him the hot foot, heating the metal below. They have to extinguish it so it doesn't kill anybody. Reed stretches himself out because one of the guys grabs one of his potions. They're trying to grab his potions, his formulas, anything that they can make money off of. He drops a grenade. Reed reaches for it and tosses it, just like any good baseball player. And the fight is over, but not. The terrorists end up shorting out the elevator. It breaks. Thing grabs it at the last minute. They end up saving a civilian. And of course, one of the main villains in this one, I consider him, Collins, comes out, starts complaining. They're the worst tenants in the world. They endanger people. Blah, blah, blah. And Reed kind of makes a joke saying maybe we're not the best tenants in the world, but hey, it's a superhero business. It brings him notoriety and a little bit of money. Hagatha appears out of nowhere saying that they have a red alert. There is a super villain or someone in town. Something's happening. Something's going on. And it's an all points bulletin. Of course, Reed looks at his scanners and everybody's looking up. Everybody is surprised. All over the world, they can see the same thing. And everybody is freaking out, wondering what's going on. What is this thing? And it's not Galactus, I'll tell you that. It is this strange creature, this weird cosmic being that they all see at once, who seems to walk on air. Now this leaves the Fantastic Four wondering who exactly this person is. And just like that, boom, Maine. Boom, New York. And now the Fantastic Four are trying to decide whether or not this is friend or foe, but when Agatha Harkness says something, it usually means that it's a level 10 emergency. So they try to deal with it, basically the Fantastic Four way, Johnny's way. He says flame on, and of course the hothead, as usual, fires a fireball before, he thinks, but that's why they call him a hothead. And it has no effect. The Thing, on the other hand, being the Thing, thinks that it's time to clobber, but he makes their bodies disappear, just to sort of distract them, basically turning Sue's powers against those two. And of course, her force field's not doing anything. He effortlessly, I should say, sorry about that, throws Thing up in the air. Johnny tries to flame on again, and basically this guy is taking them to school without any effort whatsoever. Of course, Thing grabs the Fantastic car. I don't think Reed's going to be too happy if he damages that. At this point, I don't think he has insurance. I mean, they could barely afford the rent, so why would he have insurance on the Fantastic car? But at this point, news cameras, everyone's showing up. Basically a new villain to fight the Fantastic Four, so the press is eating this up. Reed calls General Ross. And I don't really know why, because Ross has a habit of making things worse. Of course, he sends in the military. They start firing rockets at him, throws him in the water with no effort. And they're basically trying to figure out what this guy wants, and he just lifts the Fantastic car with no problem. He's showing them, basically, that they're no match for him. There's no force on Earth match was a match for this guy. And he turns the tanks basically into butter. He dispatches everything quickly. And of course, General Ross is going to have to front the bill for that because you know Reed's not going to pay for it. And at this point, this guy announces himself, says that humanity is at its end. Judgment has been passed. What kind of judgment, though? What does that mean? And Reed pieces it together as he gets his butt handed to him. Thing tries to lay one in, doesn't work. And all of a sudden he picks something out from his belt. A small horn that grows and grows. Is it the horn of Gabriel? It is. And he says that this world is now at the end. This Airwalker, is he Gabriel, the angel from heaven? And is the world ending, and why? Well, I guess we're going to have to find out the next time, won't we? And as always, I'm Jack Slater, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Yeah!